Verdansk, a name whispered in hushed tones. Once a bustling city in the heart of Eastern Europe, now a ghost story whispered around campfires. It was a city of cobbled streets and towering cathedrals, a place where the past met the present with a melancholic grace. Then, on a night shrouded in an unnatural fog, it vanished. Gone. Wiped from the map as if it had never existed. The world watched in disbelief. Whispers of government conspiracies and ancient curses spread like wildfire. Some spoke of strange lights in the sky on that fateful night, others of an eerie silence that descended upon the city before its disappearance. Yet the truth remained elusive, buried under the rubble of a forgotten city. Alex Hunter, a journalist known for his relentless pursuit of truth, had always been drawn to mysteries. He had built a career out of piecing together shattered narratives, of giving voice to the silenced. Verdansk, for him, was the ultimate enigma, a puzzle box waiting to be unlocked. Years he had spent poring over faded documents, interviewing witnesses who were now shadows of their former selves, each claiming to hold a piece of the puzzle, but none possessing the whole picture. The mystery had consumed him, etching lines of worry onto his face, turning his hair prematurely grey. The email came on a day like any other, a nondescript message, its sender shrouded in anonymity. It spoke of Verdansk, of a hidden archive on the city's outskirts, untouched since the disappearance. A map was attached, crudely drawn but detailed. A chill ran down Alex's spine. Could this be it? The lead he had been chasing for years? The rational part of his mind screamed caution, warning him of traps of dead ends. But a stronger force, the siren call of the unknown, urged him forward. He booked a flight that very night, his gut churning with a mixture of trepidation and excitement. The air hung heavy with silence as Alex crossed the invisible border into what was once Verdansk. Dust-covered buildings stood like sentinels, their empty windows staring back at him like the eyes of the dead. The air, thick with the smell of decay and something else, something metallic and vaguely unsettling, sent shivers down his spine. He navigated the rubble-strewn streets, his footsteps echoing in the eerie silence. The map led him towards the city's outskirts, to a dilapidated building that was once a research facility. The windows were boarded up, the paint peeling, the silence around it deeper than the surrounding city, as if the building itself was holding its breath. The lock on the facility's door was old but sturdy. With a grunt, Alex forced it open, the rusty hinges protesting with a screech that echoed in the stillness. He stepped inside, his hand instinctively reaching for the flashlight in his pocket. The air inside was stale and cold, heavy with the weight of forgotten secrets. The map led him through a maze of corridors, each turn revealing more unsettling glimpses into the facility's past abandoned labs with broken beakers and scattered notes. A library with shelves full of dusty tomes on genetics and physics. A darkened operating room with a rusting steel table at its center. Each room whispered of a terrifying truth, drawing Alex deeper into the heart of the mystery. Secrets in the dust. The archive was in the facility's basement, hidden behind a reinforced steel door. The air here was colder, the silence heavier, pressing down on Alex like a physical weight. He ran his hand over the dusty metal, feeling the faint hum of energy emanating from within. This was it, the source of the mystery, the answer he had been seeking for years. He finally managed to open the heavy door, the hinges groaning as if disturbed after decades of slumber. The archive was a treasure trove of information. Files upon files detailing government experiments, research into teleportation, dimensional rifts, and something called Project Shadow. The documents were highly technical, but even with his limited scientific knowledge, Alex could understand the implications. They were playing with forces beyond their comprehension. A glimmer in the darkness. He spent hours in the archive, his heart pounding with a mixture of horror and morbid fascination. The documents spoke of a breakthrough, of a successful test, and then silence. No record of what happened to Verdansk, no explanation for its sudden disappearance. Then he found it, a journal, tucked away in the back corner of a dusty shelf. The writing was frantic, the ink smudged as if written in haste. He began to read, his blood turning to ice with every word. The journal belonged to the lead scientist on Project Shadow. It spoke of an unforeseen side effect, a catastrophic energy surge, and a chilling prediction. Verdansk wasn't simply gone, it was displaced, shifted to another dimension, a shadowy reflection of its former self. Revelation. Suddenly, the metallic scent in the air intensified, making Alex gag. The floor beneath him began to tremble, dust raining down from the ceiling. He looked up, his blood running cold. A faint humming sound filled the air, growing louder with each passing second. The documents hadn't mentioned this. They hadn't anticipated this. The humming reached a deafening crescendo. The air shimmered and a bluish light began to emanate from the metal door, the source of the hum. A swirling vortex of energy was forming, a portal right there in the middle of the archive. Alex felt a pull, a force dragging him towards the swirling abyss. He had found his answers, but at what cost? A warning unheeded, he stumbled back, scrambling away from the growing portal. The air crackled with raw energy, the stench of ozone stinging his nostrils. He had to get out, had to warn the world, but the words died in his throat. Some truths, he realized with a growing sense of dread, were best left buried. Some doors were not meant to be opened. As the portal reached its full size, swallowing the archive in a blinding flash of light, Alex could only watch, his heart pounding against his ribs like a captive bird. He caught a glimpse of another world, a twisted, shadowy reflection of Verdansk. Before he turned and ran, the screams of the damned echoing in his ears. He ran until the portal's light faded behind him, until the only sound he could hear was the frantic beating of his own heart. He ran, carrying the chilling truth of Verdansk with him, a truth that would haunt him forever.